It's Tuesday, and I finally get to take a break. Holy cannoli. Today and yesterday were hectic days. Sorry I did not stream yesterday on Monday. Work ended up being really crazy busy. The VP gave me a project to work on, so I got caught working on that and didn't get to take a lunch yesterday. Oops. Um, and today, uh, has been just a very busy day. I had a lot of work that I normally need to get done, and I haven't even touched the project that the VP gave me today. I've been so busy with my normal workload and just like other questions that people have been asking me, that I am just getting away from my computer now. So, um, it's just been one of those days where everything is just like I'm not even like I don't even have that much volume in terms of things to do. It's just um it's allocated in a way that makes it take so much more time to do. Oh, Jesus, fire guy. I don't like this. Like back in December when I was in peak season, like constantly doing stuff. Like I was super busy, but when I have like a truck full of stuff that needs to move from one airport to another, it only takes me marginally longer to do the paperwork if there's like 4 boxes on the truck or if there's 20 boxes on the truck. There's just like obviously the 20 boxes is going to take me a little bit longer, but overall, the long part is just forming all the paperwork for a singular truck. Um, so today was a day where I just had a bunch of trucks with like 2 or 3 boxes on them, and I'm just like, oh my god. um, like it just takes a while to do all that paperwork because I'm doing it for like even though my volume is way down from where it was a couple months ago, I have so much. It just takes so much time to get done because it is just across a bunch of different trucks. It's like so it just time consuming is basically what it breaks down to. It's time consuming for me to do all that stuff separately, which is how I had to do it today. Because the client has told us we want it done ASAP. We don't care about waiting for. God. Oh my god. These guys are killing me. I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna be able to clear the railroad board on my first go. Ooh, no, I'm not gonna have time to get down there. Unless, holy crap, I did it. Wow, barely. I did not think that was gonna work out. So yeah, today, the past few days have just been kind of busy at work, but it's okay. I got a lot of stuff done today. Even if I haven't had a chance to work on that project for the VP, but I was asking people about it, and I need to get trained on something anyway. So I'm like, well, until I get trained, I can't I can't make a ton of headway on this. So, you know, oh, I don't like this. Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. It's been a while since I played Donkey Kong. Because the machine was so on the fritz the past last week. It was on the fritz so much I left it off like all weekend, and then I would have tried to play yesterday, except obviously I was stuck doing work and didn't have a chance to do the stream. So I am not happy with that guy coming up towards me, but oh my god. Ugh. These fire guys are on my ass today. The first board it happened, the first rivets it happened, and on this one it's happening again. Oh my gosh. Uh, but yeah, boring work talk aside, I looks like things are working better today in terms of the machine, so I'm happy to see that. And I did realize, because I know I've said before, like, I'm just so intimidated by trying to fix this thing, like, I don't even know where I would start. I will say, I had the realization that I do have I have an Arctic Thunder machine that I bought a while back. And it was working when I bought it, but then when I was transporting it, it fell out the back of the pickup truck, and now there's something wrong with it, and I haven't gotten around to fixing it. However, I know that the screen powers on and functions. The issue is there's like, I think some wires came loose or something, so I would have to like go in there and mess around with that in order to figure it out. But I know the monitor on it works, and I know a bunch of these old machines, like, oh, I got squished. I was trying to jump off and I got squished. Oops. I know a bunch of these machines that use the CRT monitors. Um, in theory, oh my gosh, I'm clearly out of practice. I think I'd be able to, if worse comes to worse, I think I could swap out the monitor on this one for the monitor in my Arctic Thunder cabinet. Which in theory would work better. Because I'm pretty sure it is, like, I don't think it's the board that's hooked up to the monitor. I think it's the monitor itself that has the problems on this machine. So if I swap out the monitor, in theory, this would work more consistently, but I don't really know. But if things get really bad again, then I did realize I have that option. I would need to do research on how to switch out the monitors. Because the thought did cross my head. I was like, well, maybe I could potentially buy, just buy like a computer monitor, or like a cheap TV or something, and hook it up that way, because I know that you can buy conversion kits to change the 60-in-1 boards to be able to output to like HD devices. So I was thinking like, maybe I could just, see if I can get like, a big monitor from a Best Buy or something, or like look on OfferUp for an old TV that I could mount in here. But then, as I said, I realized, oh wait, I have the Arctic Thunder machine. If I put that, if I switch out the monitors, that one already has the rigging to be mounted in an arcade cabinet. Like, it's already got all that stuff. So in theory, I wouldn't need to like do too much to switch them out. I don't know. I haven't done research on it yet. Because I was kind of hoping that with a week off, this guy would be working better, and so far it is. So I'm happy about that. Maybe I can hit Pie Factory despite me having a couple of dumb deaths. That'd be fun. But yeah, my brain is just mush because the past few days at work has just been like, ugh. But it was a good weekend. Pretty uneventful. I was hoping to do streaming on Sunday, but my voice is just not having it. I've gone from, I was used to, talking all the time and interacting with people, and then being in a pandemic and being isolating at home has put me into a state where it's like, oh, I have my, scheduled calls on, certain weeknights and whatnot. But most of the day, where I would be in an office and talking to people, I'm instead at home in silence. Oh my god, I'm so out of practice. I forgot to wait for all the guys to come out of the oil cans. Now they're spread across the board. Oh no, Danny. Oh no, we're out of practice, baby. Yeah, we're out of practice. Oh, that was bad. I was just like, let's just go for it. You gotta wait for them to spawn. that's the strat. And that's what happens because I haven't played this in a couple days. Instead, I've been pumping a lot of time into playing through Breath of the Wild again. Which I hit a, interestingly enough, I hit a point where I was playing Breath of the Wild and I'm playing it on Master Mode, so it's the higher difficulty. And I hit a point where I was like, I don't know if it's still doing it for me. I don't really know. Like I'll keep playing because I've got nothing else that I like really want to play or do right now. Um, and now that, and I'm trying to think like where exactly that point was. I think it was slightly before I did my first Divine Beast on this playthrough. Because I was just like sitting there and I was like, yeah, it doesn't have the same magic as the first time through. I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? I've been messing around so much, like doing just like looking for shrines and just wandering around. Maybe I should just, because I also read online like people were like, oh yeah, like master mode, like you just really got to prepare for doing the divine beasts, and I was like, okay. Guess I gotta like make sure I'm really well stocked up and such. So I was kind of avoiding doing divine beasts for that reason as well. So finally, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just do a divine beast. So I went and did the Rito one first. Because I know most people, it's like, oh, you go to the Zora one first because then you get Mipha's Grace, and that ability is just real nice in combat, and is especially helpful in Master Mode where they don't even give you the courtesy, this hit would kill you in one shot and you have full hearts, so we're gonna leave you at a quarter of a heart so that way you can eat food or reassess and run away. Um, but I walked off the edge. That is, again, out of practice. Oh my goodness. But I decided to do the Rito one first because I was like, you know what would be much better is me being able to explore more. That's what I want. I don't want to be able to, like, you know, be strong and withstand a fight. No, 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 no. I want to be able to just shoot up into the air and, you know, fly around on my glider, and from there, like, explore more. So I did the first Divine Beast, and like I don't know what people were talking about in terms of like make sure you're prepared for Divine Beast because I breezed through it pretty easily. Like yeah, I don't even think I died to Windblight Ganon. Yeah, I don't even think I died on Windblight Ganon. I um wow. Wow, this report sucks. I'm just not doing well. Alright, I'm just gonna try and end this, I think. Um yeah, I don't even think I died on Windblight Ganon. Because I'm like, that's the only thing I can see, like, what, like, people being like, oh, you gotta be prepared for it, but, like, not to say it was easy, but it wasn't nearly as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So I think I was kind of, like, over-prepared. But, gosh. Like, I want it to be documented that today the fire guys are absolutely boning me. They are just not cooperating today. But such is the fickle nature of Donkey Kong. They are one of the things that is like basically just random. So I beat Windblight Ganon. I don't even think I died. And then after that point, where I had what's his face, Ravioli's power, like that, then my exploration game really opened up, and I was like, okay, I'm having a great time again. So now I've done 2 Divine Beasts. I went and did the Zora one because I was getting a little tired of getting into an encounter with, like, a silver bokoblin and it hitting me once and me dying because I didn't have any fairies. So I picked up, jeez. I did the Zora Divine Beast, so now I have Mipha's Grace, and now I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. just kind of wandering around doing shrines. Because I'm like, I should try and get the Master Sword soon. I have made it to the Korok Forest, so it's like I can go and attempt it whenever I want. But oh my gosh, I'm so out of practice. This is laughably bad. So I can go try for the Master Sword anytime I want, but I'm just kind of like, eh. Really? Already? Stupid computer screen. Computer screen. What am I talking about? I don't even know. I also just haven't been sleeping great lately, so I'm just like, in combination just being exhausted from work, I'm like, my brain is mush because I can't sleep good. So, I'm basically just at babbling level right now. I can't form much of a coherent thought, but that's not that different from normal, if we're being real. Because yeah, it's just, like, I haven't even, like, oh, you know what? I did find something to, so I found that, I was just, like, browsing for something to watch, and I found out that HBO Max has a bunch of the old Showa-era Godzilla movies. So I watched the first two Godzillas last week, and gotta say, like, I've seen the original Godzilla, the Japanese version, not the American version. I've seen the original Godzilla, so, like, I knew it was good. I had not seen the second Godzilla film, and I was honestly not expecting much. But it was surprisingly fun. Like, it was a good time. Because you watch, you think about Godzilla, and it's like, oh yeah, dudes, like, in giant rubber monster suits fighting each other. And, like, destroying cities. But, like, the first Godzilla, being made with, like, Godzilla as a metaphor for, like, nuclear warfare, it has some really dark moments in it, which you don't necessarily think of because, again, guys in rubber suits. Oh my gosh. So, like, I knew it was good, because I had seen it before, so I rewatched it, and I was like, yep, Godzilla is still a good movie, still a good time, but I had zero expectations for the second Godzilla film, Godzilla Raids Again, because I was like, okay, so the first one is, the first one is a film that's like a metaphor for nuclear warfare and the terrible power that is. I don't necessarily. Oh my god, that was just dumb. I should have just waited for that guy to go away, but I didn't. So no, that's not my name. So the second one, I was like, okay, there's no way that they're gonna like have these like poignant dark moments in the second one, because like we gotta get ramping towards, it's just like, the silly, you watch it on Svengoolie on a Saturday night at 2 a.m. sort of deal. I'm like, we gotta ramp up to get to that point. So I was correct in that Godzilla 2 did not really have dark moments in it. But it was a fun time. Like, there were some really good like really good human moments with the human characters, which is not something that you would think that would be in a Godzilla film, nor would like a Godzilla film do well. But it's it's actually pretty good because like it follows the story of these people who work for like a fish company. So like, they have fishermen. I'm just gonna die because I died on fucking board 1-1. Jesus. So they're like, it's this fishery, I guess. So they have fishing boats, and they also have like canning. They have a cannery, so they can like can the fish and then sell it across Japan. And then they also have little hydroplanes. So like some of the characters, so the main kind of crew of characters is a couple of the pilots, and the radio ladies who kind of like act as the go between the pilots and the fishing boats and the head office and the office or whatever. And so it's like about them, you know, getting wound up in the whole Godzilla issue as Godzilla fights like a mutated Ankylosaurus, which looks nothing like an Ankylosaurus. That was like, oh my gosh, this is so goofy. I think it was called like Anguissaurus or something was the name of the monster. Look it up. It's a pretty good rubber suit. Um, which is just extra funny because it's like because Anguissaurus is like it's an Ankylosaurus, so it's on four legs. So you have a dude you have a dude who is clearly in a rubber suit on all fours trying to fight a guy on 2 feet in a rubber suit, and it's delightful. The fight scenes between those two were incredible, so fun, so silly. But just like the human moments between the characters were really nice. Like, so one of the pilots is like seeing one of the radio girls, like maybe they're engaged, I don't remember, but the other one is single and he's always like, oh man, like how do I talk to girls, what do girls like, you know, I want to get married. So people just start calling him Mr. Groom, and and I'm just like, what a hilarious thing. Like that's totally how an office would like how office banter would go. Like a guy like is constantly talking about how he wants to get married, so people just start calling him Mr. Groom. Like that's just funny. That's just good. And they had all these nice little things like there was one point where there was a company party, and that gave me flashbacks to company parties when I was living in Japan. Um, so they like went out for a nice meal at like a traditional Japanese inn, and I was like, oh man, I remember those. And it was just nice. Like there were just surprisingly nice little moments with the human characters in a Godzilla film, which I didn't expect from, one of the old school kitschy campy classics. I just didn't expect that. It was a pleasant surprise. So um, I'm excited to watch more of them. But um, that's something that I'll have to do when I can pay attention, because while I can speak Japanese, my Japanese is not nearly good enough to watch something in Japanese in the background like I can watch something in English. Because I can throw on American reality show or like a cartoon or something on in the background while I should have jumped over those. Nope, not point pressing, Danny. Remember, we just want to survive. Ugh, okay. Oh my gosh. This flame guy is harshing my vibes again. Ugh. Ugh. Again, I want it documented. The flame guys are screwing me over. So yeah, I definitely want to watch more of the Godzilla films, so I think I'm gonna try and watch some of those in the evening, and enjoy them when I can pay full attention to them, because I do need to sit there with the subtitles on. Otherwise, obviously I can understand enough of what's going on, but again, would like to have subtitles on so I can pick up on more of the stuff. Because obviously I can follow the basic plot line, because it's not like the plot of the Godzilla films is terribly thick. It's basically like Godzilla's bad, like Godzilla's here, we gotta track him and find him and figure out some way to stop him before he destroys everything. So I'm like, obviously the plot itself I don't need to follow too closely, but again, I like to, with all the little human moments, I'm like, oh, I would like to be able to have I'd like to be able to understand those and follow those, because those are surprisingly nice and a good time. Again, something I just wasn't expecting from a Godzilla movie. So I definitely want to watch more of those, especially because Godzilla vs. Kong is coming out pretty soon, and I do love me monsters fighting each other. That's actually that's actually something I've admitted in the past. Like people are like, like they start talking about kaiju and they're like, Danny, and I'm like, surprisingly, I don't have that good of knowledge of kaiju. I just haven't watched that many Godzilla films. I haven't even seen the new ones. The American ones or Shin Godzilla. I really want to watch Shin Godzilla for sure. And my goal is after I watch the chunk of Showa era films on HBO Max, I want to watch King of Monsters, the new one from a couple years ago. I think there was an old one that was also called King of Monsters. But yeah, I would love to. There we go. All right. I would love to actually become better educated on kaiju stuff because I love monsters. I love giant robots. I love giant monsters. I love giant monsters fighting each other. So you would think, by all accounts, I would be super into kaiju, but I just haven't. I haven't really gotten into them prior to this point in my life, and I'm like, well, don't have much better to do. All right. It's everyone again. Once again, everyone's stuck at home, so can't go out on the weekends, can't go to the movies. Despite certain places opening theaters back up, I'm not going because I would rather stay home and be safe. So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and just watch more Godzilla films as I have the opportunity to. Why not? Kaiju are cool. And you know what? Speaking of kaiju, I haven't seen the second Pacific Rim movie. I didn't hear anything about it, which means it was probably just like mediocre or like okay, because I didn't hear anything about it. But I love the first Pacific Rim a lot. All right, wait, and 3. Okay, now I can go. All right. Wanted to make sure I didn't make the same mistake twice. All right, this should be. Ah, stupid pie. I was a half second too late on jumping. That was my fault. That was a silly mistake. All right. Yeah, I should see if I can find Pacific Rim 2 streaming anywhere because I loved the first one. The first one was great. Again, I'm out of practice. Like, I know the pies switched there. I don't know why I was trying to climb up. Ugh, gosh. Once again, Pie Factory, I'm like, oh, it's pretty easy. Like, not a problem for me. And I'm just making stupid mistakes on it. Alright. I went for the hammer just to be safe because I am just not doing well today. Alright, come on. Alright, boom. Alright, come on. Alright, there we go. Up here. Alright. Let's go over here before any of these guys start being a pain. Okay, up there. Oh my god, no! 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 Proof! The flame guys have my number today! The flame guys have my number today! Ah! Damn, okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. Alright, one more round and then I need to get back to work, because I should try and at least do a little bit of the project that the VP gave me today. Because, yeah. As I said, I spent all day doing like my normal job, and now I have this to do. It'll be fine. Tomorrow I should have less to do for my normal job, so tomorrow I can really put a big chunk in it. And again, I need to be trained on something before I can truly finish it. So yeah. Yeah, that's something I really need to be better about is watching movies, because I hear things about movies, or there's movies that I'm like, oh, I want to see that, and then I don't watch them forever. Again, like Pacific Rim 2, perfect example of like, oh, I really liked the first one. The second one, again, I didn't hear anything about it, so I don't think that means it's overwhelmingly good or bad. It's probably just okay, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with an okay movie. Because I have the absolute lowest threshold for like film, media, whatever. My threshold is literally, did I enjoy this while I consumed it? Yes. Good. No. Bad. Um, I mean, I can certainly. I took a film class. I can appreciate a film. Um, but I also just have like an absolute lowest bottom common denominator where it's just like if I had a good time, it was worth my time. um, like I'm not one of those people that's going to complain about something for not being high art or whatever because who cares. But I can be a little bit more finicky with horror movies just because I feel like so many of them do like a really good job and then screw it up in the last 10 minutes. So that is something that I will heavily critique. But I also say I watched this horror film and I had a good time, so it was worth my time. I will also 100% do that. Oh, please get hit with the hammer. Yes, thank goodness. Okay. All right. All right. There we go. That's better. That's what we want to see. That is a good start to this. All right, cool. But yeah, like, I mean, I've touched on this before where I don't understand why you necessarily need to hate on something just because you don't like it. Because not everything is made for you. But I'm just a person, it's like, if I enjoy watching something, I think it was worth my time. If I didn't enjoy it, then it's like, it wasn't exactly worth it, but I'll just say I don't think it was worth it. I'm not going to go on a huge tirade about how it's awful and, ruin my childhood and, took years off my life or whatever. Like, but yeah, just because I like so much stuff, I should watch more things. Um, especially because I have subscriptions to so many streaming services. I have subscriptions to so many streaming services, and I really need to use them more because, I I'm paying all this money, or members of my family are paying all this money, so I can have access to. Damn it! So I can have access to stuff. So I should take better advantage of that. Because really, it's ridiculous. Let's see. I have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, HBO Max. And my sister has Amazon, but I absolutely do not use Amazon because I boycott them as a company. I boycott them as a company, so I don't buy anything from Amazon. I don't use their services as much as possible. I know Twitch is owned by Amazon, but it's kind of, streaming platform. It's like the streaming platform, unless I wanted to use YouTube Live, which I don't. So, I'll do what I can where I can while being a hypocrite. It is what it is. That's what it is in a capitalist hellscape like we live in. You just have to, you have to just do your best to make informed decisions and decide where you're going to draw your lines in the sand, because that's all you can do. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. But yeah, I should really watch more movies. Like Saturday, my sister and I, we spent the day cleaning our parents' house because they're like, we're lazy, we don't want to clean. If you come over and clean, we'll give you money. And we're like, okay, we'll take money. So we went over to their house and cleaned. And then afterwards, we went and got ramen from our favorite ramen place because we realized we hadn't gotten ramen from there since before the pandemic, and I knew that was a little bit too short. Ugh. We realized we haven't gotten ramen from the place since before the pandemic, so we were like, oh, we should go get ramen. So we went, and oh my gosh, it was so good. I still have some leftover ramen in the fridge. I definitely need to eat that. Maybe tomorrow I'll do that for lunch. It's super good, but then we were like, oh, we should it's like, you know, we were discussing random things, and I was like, oh, do you want to watch a Spider-Man movie when we get home? And my sister was like, yes. And then I went on Disney Plus, and they didn't have Spider-Man Homecoming or Far From Home. And I'm like, why do you not have these? um, which I was mad about. But in the end, we ended up watching Ratatouille, which I had not seen in years, and my sister had never seen. And it was a good time. Ratatouille was a fun time. It was nice to rewatch that. And you know, I was going through there and I was like, there's a lot of stuff on Disney Plus. You know, stuff that I've seen before, but stuff that I haven't seen in years or like I've only seen once. And I'm like, I should watch some stuff more. All right, we're gonna call it there because I need to get back to work. Not a terribly great run. Any great runs today? Like I think my ass is like 45,000, which is not good. Like it's okay, but like a good run for me is in the 60,000s. Yeah, my best one was 45,400. So yeah, not great, but I am a little bit out of practice and extremely tired and out of it. So that's probably I'll blame it on that, and not just like I sucked today. There were reasons for it. So thanks for coming by. I'm hoping that the machine cooperates and I'll be able to play again tomorrow and the rest of the week. So thanks for coming by. I had a fun time. I need to shake off the rust. I don't know how I built up so much rust after not playing for like 4, maybe 5 days, but you know, that's what you get when you don't practice constantly. So thanks for coming by, and I'll see you next time.